you know,
it was over, you know?
Yeah, I saw that and I said, oh, Dashio.
Yeah,
nobody was ready for him, you know?
There were so many situations where Dashio could have closed it out, like right there, but I think he doesn't have the same clutch that Cien has. And even though maybe he had it won, I mean, he can't close out the world champ.
But look at, I mean, you know, to be fair, I think at the end here, look at how lucky, I will say, Cien got, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Just mistakes after mistakes paid off. Hold on. Oh, it's coming up a little bit later. Right here, you would think it's over, you know? Now, Dashio has match point. He almost got a perfect on that last round. But look at that. Here we go. Oh, with DP, with
uppercut
DP.
after uppercut.
But see, like, that's the difference between a tournament winner, tournament loser, you know, being world class. You know, Dashio only started traveling recently. And Cien's just been a globetrotter since, like...
Well, he's got a bright future.
Yeah, absolutely. And take a look at this. Gamer B versus Kiyoma.
This was, I think, one of the bigger surprises. I don't think anybody really expected Kiyoma to take Gamer B.
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, you look at everybody's fantasy brackets, if you will, nobody had this happening.
Do you guys think that maybe Gamer B has been playing so much Elena that, you know, when he had to finally bust out Adon against Kiyoma, that it came back to bite him?
No, not at all. I think that, you know, he's one with the character. Like, let's say Mike played, you know, Rolento, Hugo, whatever, but if he still played Honda, it's his first love.
It's true.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's going to be a threat.
Yeah, look, Kiyoma definitely putting in that extra work, doing that research on all of his opponents. Came prepared. Came with a game plan.
I don't think anybody did their homework on Kiyoma.
No. Not at all.
I think everybody was banking on Snake Eyes taking him out.
It's true.
Well, I don't think the guys here, in their defense, can read Portuguese. So it's not like they know what's going on, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, Kiyoma ending Gamer B's hopes and dreams.
Also, Shiro versus Daigo.
And the Able Army was out here.
Yeah, seriously,
out here
in
deep,
full
right?
force. You know, Yipe said yesterday, he was saying, Mike, I have a feeling about them Ables. That's all he said. He just kept saying it over and over and over. And sure enough, yeah, the Ables showed up today, and they're still doing work.
Yeah. No, but this matchup was pretty good. There was times where Daigo had his back against the wall.
Yeah, and yeah, Shiro just started turning it on, putting a big threat to Daigo's championship here.
But then, you know, Daigo being the world-class Mr. Street Fighter himself.
Yeah.
More so than Alex Baye, of course. But, yeah. Shout out to Baye. Yeah, it's just so strong, you know. Daigo, composure, always maintained, 100% clutch.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, another matchup that was really... Whoa.
Oh, this was the highlight. I think this was the hypest match of the tournament so far for me. Cien versus Kiyoma came down, last game, last round. I mean, Kiyoma had it so many times, but, you know, again, Cien proves why he was world champion, or, you know, 2013 world champion, you know, just is able to keep his composure under so many high-pressure situations.
Right, yeah, and even Kiyoma was, like, mentioning beforehand that he didn't really have that real comfortable Gen practice. So he was kind of going into... Yeah, he was just going into this matchup just with his wit.
Yeah, there's no way that you're ever going to play against anything remotely close to Xian.
Of course.
Like, his Gen, he kind of created the character. I mean, people knew he was serious. Some guys would dabble around with 100 hands, but nobody was doing this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, right there, Cien ties it up. This, we're actually going to get into the third round, the last game, round, in a little bit. So if you guys missed it,
look at that! How do you
watch the whole thing?
You know, how do you recover from that when you get perfected in the final game? You know, the final rounds.
That, as you know, as a competitor up here, like, your mental strength is just as important, if not more important, than your game knowledge.
That's right.
You know, because you can have all the game knowledge in the world, but if something doesn't go your way, and something like that happens, you get perfected. You have to be able to shake it off, take a breath, and start fresh the next round.
And speaking of maintaining your composure, taking a breath, all that good stuff, dude.
Infiltration versus Daigo, one of the craziest matches, easily my favorite moment thus far in the tournament.
Yeah, you know, you actually saw Infiltration rattle during this matchup. He
That's right.
Quite a few things. right? And
Yeah,
that's what Daigo took advantage of.
Yeah, he definitely had Daigo put away in the third or the fourth game. But then Daigo just mounted this amazing comeback that we're gonna.
Fourth game.
Fourth game.
Game 3. Yeah, in Game 3, Daigo makes one of the most miraculous comebacks we've seen in Street Fighter.
Oh yeah.
Period.
And we're gonna go into depth on that in just a little bit, just in case you guys were doing something else instead of watching Capcom Cup.
This is it right here, right?
Yeah, this is.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, right
Oh,
there.
my goodness.
But what you guys aren't seeing there was like the 30 seconds of tense action where anything could have happened. Anything could have killed Daigo.
Exactly.
Still came back.
Pure communication. That was, I think, a lot of people, they really didn't know who was going to take that. It was really up in the air. Two great players, two legends, if you will.
Could have gone either way.
Absolutely.
And, Infiltration being a master of many characters,
Yes.
pulling out Chun-Li in that situation. And then here we go. We have two EVO World Champions
Yes.
versus each other. Oh my gosh. Clash of the Titans here at Capcom Cup.
Yeah, this match, I think that every time they played, really, Infiltration has taken it. And I just think as a Capri, he just has Luffy's number.
Yeah. Yeah, Luffy was really out of options right there. There was nothing he could do in that situation. It was just a really tough match for him.
I think it's definitely to the point now where if you are only good with one character, like we saw it happen with Jack, and now here with Luffy, right? Like if you only have one character, there's just some characters that are you're just going to be fighting a consistent uphill battle against.
Exactly. Oh yeah, Tokido versus Mise.
Ooh.
Dude, Mise,
Tell me about his performance.
This guy has that style that I like. Just one punch, that's all he needs to stop you, and then it's just all him. It's a Mise show. Look at that. Look at that cross-up action.
All offense, the true combo fiend style of play. No defense,
None.
no thought process.
Who needs it?
If you happen to be instinctual,
Yes.
then go ahead and rely on that.
You just feel.
Yeah,
Peter is
Feel.
all heart, no tech.
That's right.
Yeah, if you smell blood in the water,
That's right.
then go ahead and look for the meal.
And now, right after that, and then we see Dashio. Or Tokido is thrown up against Dashio here.
Yeah, this one didn't go well for Dashio. I mean, he won one game, but
This was actually surprising. I thought he would do a lot better. I thought it would cause Tokido quite some problems, but he just had a good, solid game plan.
Do you guys think that this is a case of, tournament nerves? I mean, Tokido has been competing at the highest level for like more than half his life.
Yeah.
Traveled the world, placing high at tournaments everywhere. If Dashio just started traveling recently, it's really tough to compete against a veteran like that.
True.
exactly. You have to beat this great player. You have to beat him in an entirely different environment. Where he has his composure and you may not have yours. That could really mess up your gameplay.
Ooh. Knuckle Do versus Fudo.
Yeah, didn't you have Fudo pegged to do pretty well?
I actually
In the
did.
tournament?
Yeah, I really thought. I thought Fudo would be one of the top finishers here.
Oh yeah, I think
man.
that's a testament to your reads, Mike.
Wow.
Peter, I didn't want to answer you when you started this, but you know what? Go ahead, finish the job.
Yes. See, that was a situation where when Fudo lost, he put himself in the corner 2 times. He had Knuckle Do knockdown, went for this cross-up, and that second time where he got finished off, he went for the EX command grab, and he was too far. It's
Just didn't work. Yeah, I think a lot of people.
unfortunate decision.
Yeah, not the best time for the EX command grab, but here we go.
And this was the last
Match that we just saw. Yeah. How about that jump back jab straight into the EX Rekka falling sky? Kiyoma.
Dude, you know what? Kiyoma did this one combo in the first round, or sorry,
Oh,
in the
yeah.
first round of like the 4th game or something, where he's like FADC, down fierce, FADC or something. It looked really crazy, and I've never seen any Abels do any.
Yeah, he finished it with like EX wheel kick.
Yeah, it looked really awesome.
Yeah, and everybody was like, "Ooh," because you don't see that. You don't see Abels do that all the time.
Yeah, he was just going through the whole arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, he's been playing absolutely out of his mind. And like you were saying, we wanted to actually look back at one of his matches earlier. Let's take a look at Cien versus Kiyoma.
make sure to give that analysis, Gooey. And
Dude, hey man, when it comes to Gen, I don't think anybody except Cien really knows what's going on. I was just like, yo, this match was hype.
He ain't gonna share the tech. We gotta look and decipher. No, but in this matchup, it was definitely crazy. At one point, I wouldn't say at one point, at many points, it looked like this was just pure Keoma's favor. Purely Keoma's favor.
Oh yeah, right here. He gets the throw, and then uses the throw, the whip throw, to set up the next empty jump.
Big life lead.
This,
No, but see,
no,
it was that crouching short fierce link that he missed early on that just changed all of the momentum. You know, just it's those little things that allow the opponent to think.
Yes.
And that's not what you ever want them to do, especially with Abel. You just want to keep mixing them up and, you know, just leave them rattled, right? And Keoma does a great job of doing that, but that one little drop
cost him everything.
Yeah, because it let Xian think. He got that little bit of meter, and once Xian has the super and the ultra, that match becomes instantly even, regardless of his life.
And since he didn't have too much practice against Cien, once he was knocked down after that ultra, he did not know which way to block. That incoming mix-up, well, he didn't know what to do. It was, I mean, that's one of those situations where everybody in the crowd that was watching got hit by the same thing.
Well, it's just like looking into the sun.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's coming.
Yeah.
I can't stop it. Also, I want to take a look at, like I said, one of my favorite moments, Infiltration.
Oh yeah.
Versus Daigo.
One of the most amazing comebacks in Street Fighter history.
Yeah. Yeah, so here it is, you know, first off, Infiltration rocking Chun-Li.
Look at that bait. He took a step back, did little short lightning legs into Ultra.
It was over. It was over. Just
look at it. All he needs is one hit.
Something.
But I also feel like that's kind of one of the weaknesses to Infiltration's game, is that he always wants you to come to him.
He's got to take this now again.
If he would have just took the fight a little bit forward and just tried to make Daigo block anything into legs or something like that, you know, and kept up the pressure or make him try to focus on Hazanshu or anything along those lines, then he could have won the round. But he's just letting Daigo think.
Right, he's let Daigo think, and he let Daigo build his full super and ultra. So then you got to worry about two things, right? The Fireball FADC Ultra, which he hit somebody with earlier, and then also a hop kick into Demon. And he didn't do either of those.
Yeah, you just see it right here.
Yeah, so that was his chance.
Yeah, just walking back.
Yeah, I mean, in those situations, you really gotta just force them to make a bad decision. Because if you give them too much time to think, too much time to reset the situation, then you get hit by that. And watch, boom. He doesn't even chip him out here.
Yeah, he got hit by something.
Well, yeah, but you see that right there. Infiltration didn't have the meter to wake up with the EX spinning bird.
Yeah.
Daigo recognized that. He realized the options for Chun-Li were really limited, so kudos to him for making that pretty sick comeback.
That's right. So Ryan, you know, looking at some of the brackets, matches that are coming up, what are some of the ones that just have you going berserk right now?
Okay, let's just go through them real quick, and then we'll talk about which ones are going to make us go crazy.
Okay.
We got Punko versus Cien, and then Daigo versus Kazunoko, and then we got Keoma versus Snake Eyes, the run back from the first round, and then finally Mise versus Infiltration.
Can we talk a little bit about the run back?
Oh, yes, let's talk about it.
You know, Combo Fiend, as somebody who has, you know, been a very successful competitive player in the tournament world, what is it like when you are about to play against an opponent that sent you to losers early on in the tournament?
Well, you know, if you come back into it with a clearer mind, right, not angry or anything like that, because sometimes you might be salty.
Yes.
You're like, you know what, I'm just gonna beat this dude. But when you play them clouded, and then they still beat you the same way they beat you in winners, right? That does happen. It's happened before.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To lesser individuals. I mean, not myself, but
never you.
Never.
Yeah.
Perfect player, perfect man. 2015, where's his award?
Put in your 2 weeks, Peter. There's still time.
Oh yeah, 2016, here it comes. Yeah, so yeah, but if Snake Eyes, you know, if you remember his video, he's like, I don't even know about Brazil. Where's that country at? Like, who lives there? And now he knows who Keoma is. He knows who that Abel is.
Yeah.
You know, and if anything, he just has to watch his match, and that's the good part. Like, with this technology, he can totally watch a replay of his match from earlier. And in my mind, I don't think Keioma's is necessarily going to change his game too much, because he knows that at the end of the day, Snake Eyes isn't used to being pressured. He's not used to being command grabbed, you know? So now Snake Eyes will actually have to be mobile if he wants to create a difference this time.
That's right. And do you have any favorite matchups that you're looking forward?
Okay, so Daigo versus Kazunoko.
I think,
you know, Daigo's definitely got something to prove in this instance, because I believe the last time they fought, Kazunoko beat him 7 straight games, and I don't think anybody has ever beat Daigo 7 straight games in the history of Street Fighter.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that Daigo went back into the lab, worked on the matchup or a Kazunoko specific strategy, and he's got something to prove here.
Do you think well, obviously he's probably going to still stick with the same thing. I'm just curious, because watching him just in the back practicing before every matchup out there, you know,
there's setups in the back.
Yeah.
You guys at home are watching. There are setups. People can practice.
Yeah, he's got all of the, you know, he's doing all of his research against every single opponent in advance. I just don't know what can he possibly do different to get around Kazunoko? What does he need to do? Is that what we just gotta wait?
I don't know. We're all. This is the analyst desk, Mike. They come to us for answers.
How do you overcome a 7-0 loss? How does that happen?
Well, I mean, like, you just have to watch the footage and see what were the ways that Kazunoko woke up, you know, or maybe watch other people and how they play him. You know, how exactly does Bonchan eat him up for breakfast every single time they play, you know?
Right.
How exactly do the other guys do well against him? You know, how does Momochi constantly do well against him? I think at that point you start watching their videos and seeing where the differences lie between what you were doing and what they were doing, if you really want like a overall strategy.
You know, also on the winner's side, we have Punko versus Cien. Now, we saw Cien, what he did to Dashio earlier. What would be different, if anything, against Punko? What does Cien have to worry about?
Oh, man. Punko is like, it's like you're driving a Formula One race car in a residential zone. You know, there's no brakes. He's just driving 120 miles an hour. So you can either try to go head on with this oncoming race car, or you can just get out of the way and let him crash into a tree. And I think that the guys that do best against Punko